Hi, this is Umar from Dhruv Consultancies, and this is part 20 of our CRM system. In part 19, we discussed how to work beyond the limitations of the CRM system using Access database. In this video, we will have the same discussion, but for MySQL database. As a reminder, we used in Access database a refresh approach to work beyond the limitations of the CRM system. In MySQL database, we are going to use read-only approach. Now, this is the CRM MySQL user application, and this is the CRM admin MySQL application. Now, we are going to use Access 2007 rather than Access 365. The reason is that we are connected to MySQL Server via a VPN application. The MySQL Server is in another network, and we are connected to that server via a VPN. We are using the Soft Ether VPN application, and it is a free application. It's a free software developed and supported by Japanese university, which is a good software. However, in many VPN application, the default gateway will be toward the server, and sometimes the server will not give you an internet access, and therefore you are using the network to connect to the server, but you don't have access to the internet. Now, if you are using new versions of Access, for example, if you are using Access 365, and the software, when you open it, sense that there is a network connection, then it will try to connect to Microsoft Server. But you have network connection, but you don't have access to the internet. And therefore, the software, after many failed trials, will open the CRM application, but that will take about 25 seconds. However, if you are using Access 2007, it will open the application immediately. This is why we are using, for this video, we are using Access 2007 rather than Access 365. Let's discuss more about the VPN. This might be useful. You can disable the gateway toward the server and keep the gateway with the local connection. Let's go to the Network Center, Adapter Settings, and this is the local area connection, and this is the Soft Ether VPN adapter. Click Properties, right click and click Properties. IPv4 Properties, Advanced, and you have the metric here, interface metric 1, and this by default. And then what you need to do here is that to disconnect the VPN first, put this 100, click OK, and Windows, when you open the VPN, will put the priority for the default gateway toward the lowest metric. The metric here in the local connection is automatic metric, and it will be a lower value. So when you have a lower value here and a higher value here, Windows will go to the lower value. So in this case, the default gateway will be with the local area connection, but also you will have a connection with the server. This will solve the problem for Access, because Access 365 will have a direct link toward Microsoft Server. It is just a 1 second or 2 seconds, and then it will open the CRM application. However, there is a catch here. This is going to work perfectly with the CRM user application and with the read-only external file that we will discuss in this video, but it will not work with the CRM admin application. For the CRM admin application to open, it should be either in a true local network or at least in a VPN where the default gateway is toward the server. So the trick of raising the value of the interface metric will solve the problem if you are using the CRM user application, but the admin application will not work, and in this video we are going to work with the admin application. Now let's open the CRM user application. Now we added random data to MySQL Server. We added some random data. There is about 15 records, random data. This is just records with random data. Let's open the admin application. Now, in part 19, we used a refresh approach to create an external file in order to work beyond the limitations of the CRM system. Here we are going to use the read-only approach. CRM options, and you have an option for MySQL Server. This will only appear if you are using MySQL database. Click, and you will reach a double-click window. And it mentioned here, double-click the following. Now you can create a new Access database file by double-click here, and this is the same option as in part 19 of the series. You can double-click at help, and you will receive a help related to this option. You can double-click at export to transfer the help to a text file, and you can double-click at add. Now what we are trying to do here, in part 19 we created an external Access file, and in order to update the data we need to refresh the file. Here we are going to create an external file, and we want to link the file directly to MySQL Server in a read-only mode. So there is no need to refresh the external file. It's already updated. Whenever anything happened in MySQL Server, it will be reflected to the external Access file. And in order to create that file, we need to create the link between the computer we are going to work with and MySQL Server. And the way to do it is to put the computer name, and in this case it is work PC, and we need to put a password, at least 4 characters. So let's make it ABCD, and we can put a note. For example, this connection is for the username XYZ, or we can put it without a note and click OK. Then we need to choose the tables that this external file will deal with. We can click options, tick all, or we can select the tables we want. Let's tick all. OK. And we have created a link. The username is always read-only, and it is case sensitive. In this option, or in this record, it is the work PC that will make this connection, and the password is ABCD, and that's it. Now we want to create an external access database, and we can use the option available in the double-click window. There was an option for creating an external access file, but we can use Access software directly. Now let's choose Access 365 just to show what do we mean by the delay in opening when there is no internet access. Click blank database. Let's make it ABC. First of all, let's choose the desktop and let's make it ABC. Open, create, and it created the file immediately, but if we close and try to open, it will take a bit of time because the software senses that there is network connection, and there is network connection, but there is no internet access, and this is why this delay. Now, how we can link this external access database with MySQL Server? We go to external data, new data source, from other sources, and object database connectivity. However, before we are able to use this option, we need to create the object database connectivity link. But how we can do this? Let's minimize. If you are using Access 32-bit, then you have already installed the object database connector 32-bit for MySQL Server. If you are using Access 64-bit, then you have already installed the object database connector 64-bit for MySQL Server, and these two files will be available with the installation package, and the CRM user application will use that software to connect directly with MySQL Server. However, for this external file, then you need to create an object database connector manually. How we do that? If the external file is 32-bit access, then you need to go to My Computer, C Directory, Windows, System 32, and then Object Database File 32-bit. You click there, and then you add the connector, which is MySQL Object Database Connectivity 5.2 Unicode driver. And it's not a bad idea to make a shortcut for this one. Cut. Now, if you are using Access 64-bit as we are using now, you need to go to Open Control Panel, Administrative Tools, and you have this database source which is for Access 64-bit, but we can also put here a shortcut for the 32-bit. Now, we are using Access 64-bit, so let's click here, Add, and MySQL Object Database Connectivity 5.2 Unicode driver. finish, and you will have this window, this dialog window. Now, data source name, let's call it MySQL read only. The server, it is CRM server. This is the name of the server. Now, user, we said it is read only and it is case sensitive, so it is read only. Password is ABCD, and make a test, and the test connection successful, and we can choose the CRM data. Now, the CRM server will recognize the computer. If it wasn't the same computer, it will not accept it. Click OK, and we have created the link. Let's go out from here, return back to the file. External data, new data source, other sources, object database connectivity, link, OK, machine data source, and we have MySQL read only. Click. Now you don't need to put save password because it's already saved in the object database connector. You just click select all and OK. And you have now a direct link to MySQL server, and it is read only. If I want, for example, to change a record, let's say exit, it says link table failed. It is a read only mode. The connection to MySQL server is a read only mode. Now, the discussion we have made in part 19 about how to create queries, how to create reports, how to connect reports with queries, how to create extra fields as true fields, all apply here in this external file. As I said in part 19, we are trying to work beyond the limitations of the CRM system of how to create customized reports for our needs, for the company's needs, and how to search records for specific parameters. Now, just to test it, to test something here, let's go to the admin, view, CRM options, read only, and here double click, and let's remove this object link. Exit, exit. Let's return back to the file, and you see the object database connectivity failed. It's no longer there. So if you change the computer name, or if you change the password, then the object database connectivity will fail. This is the end of this video. Thank you for watching.